It's funny because, God, I thought Hypnotize was a different song.
What did you think it was?
I thought Hypnotize was the song where he goes like, it's all good, baby, baby. It was all a dream.
I used to read what a magazine.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
This song was dedicated to all the teachers who told me I'll never amount to nothing.
You're not bad at that.
Thank you.
You're not bad at that.
Lights, camera, action.
Like, do you have 12 hours to watch 2 Apatow movies?
He's got J-Lo back. You don't just get J-Lo back.
What's the worst, like, acid trip you've ever had?
Well, this is Redband Podcast, baby. Movies, music, conspiracies, deep existential crises. It's all inside and it's all unfiltered. So let's get started.
I learned that when I talk to people and then they go, what? And then I'm like, do I really fucking talk that quiet? Even on the phone, taking phone calls at work, like, excuse me, can you speak up a little? I can't hear you. I don't know. There's like some timidness about me. Occasionally. I'm either the loudest person or the quietest person in the room, honestly.
It's only when there's that passion, that fire in you, when you got to drop a hot take.
Exactly.
Then it gets loud.
Oh, I'll turn it up.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, for me, peek behind the curtain, like, my whole vision has always been like, I want to treat movies and television like Stephen A. Smith and Sports Center. Like, I want to scream about Leonardo DiCaprio's decision to be in the next Adam McKay film and just say, who do you think you are, Leo? Honestly, no, I'm so excited for that movie. But
what is that movie?
Don't Look Up. Ooh.
I have heard nothing about this.
Ooh. It's going to be good. It's on Netflix.
Well, it's already out?
Not yet.
Oh.
It's around Christmas time.
Okay.
So it's Adam McKay directing, writing.
Perfect.
Leonardo.
Excellent.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Ooh,
Jonah
weird.
Hill. Jonah Hill. I know, right?
Wait
Hold on.
a minute.
Yeah, let's backtrack.
Yeah. Let's stop there for a minute.
J-Law.
Where did she go? Where has she been? I forgot about J-Law.
What is her last thing? It's not X-Men Apocalypse, is it?
Did she just...
That might explain.
Did she take a break from acting?
Or Rise of Phoenix. X-Men. She probably did.
She was in everything.
She was in everything. Well, would you say rightfully so?
What, that she was in everything?
Yeah.
You felt like it.
But, like, do you think she was good enough to be in everything?
Yeah, yeah. I definitely think she's got the chops.
Right.
Obviously. I guess I just haven't seen her in too many things.
Right.
I think the last thing I saw her in was... I spoke before I should have spoke because I don't remember anything about this movie. I think it was based on a true story, and she played a woman who invented something.
I might have missed that one.
It was, I think it took place around Christmas. If I'm not mistaken. I remember there being snow.
Okay. I like snow.
Oh, I have seen American Hustle and Hunger Games and Silver Linings Playbook. It was Joy? Joy.
Yeah, okay, Joy.
Joy. So the story of the title character who rose to become founder and matriarch of a powerful family business dynasty. I think that's the last thing I saw her in.
Okay.
I never saw Passengers, although I really wanted to, but I heard it was ass.
That's a movie like, yeah, and it was. But it's like, oh, yeah, I have seen that. Like, I forget that I've seen that.
Yeah.
Until you say it. And then I'm like, oh, yeah. And yeah, ass is correct. That's the correct description for it. There's no other way to slice it.
Yeah.
Ass.
Ass. What an ass movie.
It was just ass. Most movies are ass, right?
And so is it worth it for me to see that movie to make my own opinion about it?
Passengers?
Yeah.
It's a good, I would call it a Saturday night. I think there's a difference between a Friday night movie and a Saturday night movie. I'd call it like if you're going to watch, like if you're going to do a double feature, I would put that on. It's hard to do a double feature. It's like, do you start with the good one and end with the decently bad one because you know you're going to fall asleep?
Yeah.
Or do you end with a bang? I'd call it a Saturday night movie when you're just not trying to do anything crazy. You just want something on, and you want space.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want space, like a spaceship based film.
There you go.
Saturday night, you want space. You don't want to watch Interstellar because it's just a lot.
Christopher Nolan can be a lot. You gotta. That's a good point. Can you do? I don't think mentally it's safe to do a Christopher Nolan double feature unless you were doing the Dark Knight trilogy.
Right.
In that case, it's a triple feature. But all of his other movies, do yourself a favor, take a break, think about your life,
Exactly.
rest up, hydrate. I haven't seen Tenet, and I've heard that Tenet is one of those where you have no idea.
I'll say this though, and Tenet, no idea. The rules, whatever the rules are in that universe, not clear. But I think it's a kind of an easy watch, in my opinion. I watched it, kind of an easy watch.
Really? You're the first I've heard to say that.
Only if you're not trying to figure it out the whole time.
Okay.
Which is hard.
Yeah.
Like, that's hard to do. But if you can watch Tenet and just not try and figure out all the stuff and just, like, take whatever's happening, that makes it kind of boring too, though. Just because you're just like, okay, like, what? Why is he in India now? And, like, why are they, like, on the cliff sides of, like, Greece? Like, it's a pretty movie, though.
Oh, I mean, he always does pretty movies.
He does. He's good at that.
Yeah.
He's got a good imagination for, like, what I like about Tenet is, like, seems like an accurate portrayal of what things could look like in like 20 to 30 years in the future. Not like super utopian, but like a realistic, grounded idea of like what the future could be like.
Where the Washingtons are still just dominating the acting game too.
Exactly. His son.
Didn't he want to change his name or something so that he wasn't associated with his dad?
I didn't know that.
I thought I heard something where, not in a bad way, but he didn't want to be known as, oh, that's Denzel's son.
Right.
He wanted to be like his own thing and create his own career for himself. I could be wrong, but I could have sworn I heard that somewhere.
I feel like he did a pretty good job. I didn't. They don't fucking look alike. That's like when I first saw him in Ballers. I don't know if you ever watched
Never
Ballers.
saw it.
I never went. I wonder if that's Denzel Washington's son. Because he doesn't look like he'd be Denzel Washington's son.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's one thing that links them together visually.
What would it be?
It's gotta be the penis. That's what it is.
Is it the eyes?
Yes.
It might be the eyes. Or maybe it's that they're both dudes.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Exactly.
That's the common.
Let's go with that one.
Yeah, for safety.
Let's go with that one.
It's not. Yeah, it's not like when I saw Dave Franco for the first time and I said, holy shit, I know who you're related to instantly.
Instantly. Do you think Dave Franco hates that he's shorter than James Franco?
I've always wondered that.
Yeah.
I've always wondered that.
You know he kind of hates that.
Yeah.
He's had to do work around that, personally.
You think so? Do you think he's lost roles to his brother ever? Not just on height. That's just in general. Do you think he's ever lost out on a role to his brother?
Probably.
Because I think if you look enough like somebody, then why not get the chance to both be cast in something?
Totally.
And then to have the producer or the casting director say, you're good if we could just have you taller.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. You have a brother, don't you?
You have
How
a brother.
How awful would that be?
That'd be a toughie. Totally. What would you do? You'd make a movie that not a lot of people have seen. Because I know Dave Franco made one movie. And it's so... I just don't know what it is. And that's the point. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You would do that. You'd make a movie that... I bet you even the people who've seen it don't know it was made by Dave Franco.
So he directed it.
He directed a
Really?
movie. Yeah.
Huh.
Here, let me. I'll do the IMDbing on this one.
Yeah. Your turn to do some searching. There's a movie that I've really wanted to see where he's in it. Maybe this is the one you're about to pull up. I have no idea. But he's like severely addicted to drugs or something. Heroin even, I think. And it's called 5 Balloons or 7 Balloons or X amount of number of balloons.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. And it looks good, like a good drama.
I would really watch that. Now, 6 balloons. Here
6
it is.
balloons. I fucking didn't get any of them
Did
right.
you just say 5 balloons or 7 balloons? And you somehow missed the exact one. It is. It is. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm Abby Jacobson from Broad City as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yep. I like
Broad
that.
City. I haven't watched enough of Broad City, and I hate that because whenever I do watch it, I've loved it.
Broad City is one of those where, like, it to me, I was immediately just like, it's the girl version of Workaholics, but it stood on its own 2 feet.
You know what's interesting now that as I was actually about to bring up Workaholics. That was a show that I really, really liked when I first started watching it. Mm-hmm. I went back recently to watch it. Not as good.
Right.
I don't know if maybe the writing fell off in later seasons. It tends to with shows. I don't know. I just remember I used to be pretty obsessed with that show and really thought it was absolute comic gold. And then I watched it recently, and it's a good background show.
Yeah.
If you want to eat, if you're eating lunch real quick on a break and throw Workaholics on or something, you know,
Totally.
no insult to them or anything, but
That's totally it. You got to have a couple of shows that you only have 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. And you're like, I'll just watch one of those. I feel like Bob's Burger is one of those for a lot of people.
okay. Yeah, Family Guy's that way for me.
Family Guy's totally that way. Workaholics totally. A couple of years ago, I watched through the whole series again. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the later seasons, not even close to as good. The first 3 seasons are pretty solid. The first 2, actually, are the most solid. Mm-hmm. And then the third is pretty decent. And then it kind of falls off little by little with a couple of gems. I used to think it was the pinnacle of comedy. I thought it was just like, for where I was when it came out, it was like, these are my guys.
Yeah.
I just wanted to party and smoke weed.
Yeah.
And here they were. There was a show about guys who just partied and smoked weed.
I found that the fact that they all were involved in it in terms of not just acting, they were writers of it. They created the show. I liked that. That was inspiring to me to see.
Definitely. And the fact that and their fourth, it was the kind of the director.
Yes.
The more filmmaker.
Kyle Novacek or something.
Yes.
Or whatever his last name is.
What would they call him in the show? What was his character's name?
I don't remember. But he was that
Wonky
drug dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wonky eye.
Yeah.
That's a throwback.
Actually, wasn't it Kyle?
I think
they all use their real first names.
Use their real names.
They do.
Yeah. It's it's interesting what happens next, right? It's like Adam Devine, solid career moving forward.
Yeah.
Not all 3 of them get to have it, right? It's hard. It's really, that's the game. It's like you all 3 together can like do something great, but one of you is gonna go to the next level, and only one of you.
It's like NSYNC.
It is.
Not all of you can make it. Only JT. I think one of the saddest things I've ever seen is when they reunited the last time, which was like, I don't know, however many years ago on an award show. Mm-hmm. And I used to really be into NSYNC, actually.
Same.
I had the CD. I had the NSYNC CD. I had this VHS tape that had Bye 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 music video on it, and Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again, back to back on the VHS. In my living room, I'd be getting down. Yeah. Putting in the dance moves.
It was like, for the first video, like, you learned how to dance, and in the second video, like, you would get your first boner.
It was a double feature.
It was a double feature.
What I was going to say about it being sad was that at that award show, one of the guys, I don't even remember his name, but you could tell he had his 15 minutes again in the spotlight, and he was trying to take it, like trying to show people, I can still do this. And he was, it was really sad. I felt bad for all of them. I felt really bad for them because I don't know the relationship they have with JT, but in my opinion, even just from watching that, it feels like JT took off and now he's too good for them.
Right.
He doesn't really talk to them anymore. They might reach out to him or get together to have NSYNC brunch, and he doesn't show up because he's too good now. This is just speculation, by the way. There's no facts to back this other than that's just what I feel.
But it's like, could any of them all do what JT does? No. Hell no. JT is really good.
JT has worked with some people.
In film and music.
True.
Saturday Night Live. How do you make one of the most quotable Saturday Night Live sketches too?
Dick in a box.
Dick in a fucking box. And that does make me sad. That does make me very sad. That's like a retired football player putting on the pads for like a quarter and just trying to be like, I could still run around, with like a wet brain of CTE. And then just gets like clobbered again and gets like the last concussion he can have before he becomes a vegetable.
That's like when Brett Favre came back for a little bit.
Yes, totally.
And you were like, oof.
And you're like, no, Brett Favre or guy from NSYNC.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing from NSYNC, an NSYNCer trying to do anything, is I watched The Circle. Do you watch The Circle on Netflix? No. Probably my favorite reality TV show.
Oh.
But Lance Bass of NSYNC is in there at one point. And it's like that's all you could get?
Yeah.
Lance Bass? The people who watch The Circle is Generation Z. They don't know who Lance Bass is. You just told me you love NSYNC. You probably barely know who Lance Bass is.
And I think of all the NSYNCers, it goes JT and then Lance Bass.
Yeah.
Because he does stuff.
Right.
But it's usually that kind of stuff, not as well known or anything like that. I pulled up the snippet because I wanted to show you. Maybe we can post this on our social media page so people can see what I'm talking about.
Totally.
But just watch this and tell me it isn't saddening a little bit to watch what happens.
I'm already sad.
I love ads.
I fucking love them. When was this?
This says it was in 2013 at the MTV Awards or something.
We were graduating high school.
Yeah, exactly. T Swift. Damn. These are still hype songs, by the way.
Yeah, no, this is a good one there.
I think it's this guy that tries to pop off and be like, guys, I can still sing. Watch me.
Ooh. He just did something. He took it a little...
Did you see that hand tap?
Yeah.
I think he wanted to tap him and have JT be like, yeah, we got this. And he didn't reciprocate.
That's the best. They are not in sync. They are not in sync. It's a good fucking song. Is that?
No, here it comes. Here it comes. Wait for it.
I'm so ready.
Oh, his
what was that?
His one last effort to say, hey.
He hasn't had a microphone in his hand in a decade.
No. And then, of course, he goes into one of his hottest singles of that year.
Like, okay, guys,
you
we're
guys
good.
Are done. Let me bury you with one of my singles.
You guys are good now. We did our thing. 2 songs.
And he's like, that's enough of that.
He said, baby, baby, baby.
Yeah.
He went, baby, baby, baby.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to sing it like Christina Aguilera.
Yeah. With a little vibrato.
Yeah.
If that's the right word.
That's what they call it.
Maybe you singers out there can tell us if that's right or wrong.
For no reason. It was completely out of place.
It was a Hail Mary in the fourth quarter. Let me just see if some producer will watch this and fucking give me a chance.
I like to think I wasn't able to see, but I know for a split second, Justin Timberlake gave him a side eye of like pure just spite and hate.
Like, don't you ever.
Justin Timberlake's like, I'm doing you guys a favor.
Yeah.
Because if Justin Timberlake doesn't want to do that, it doesn't happen.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
All he has to say is, nah. Mm-hmm. I'd rather not.
I wonder how many times he said, nah, I'd rather not before this.
Times. Right. Before that fella and Lance Bass were just like, dude, I need a paycheck. Mm-hmm. Please. Mm-hmm. I need a paycheck.
Do you think all the other NSYNC guys came together and started a GoFundMe so they could pay Justin Timberlake to do that with them?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say they started a GoFundMe and they said, we need to do this. And Justin Timberlake said, this is sad. This is pathetic. Fine. Let's just go. Oh my God. Justin Timberlake is so annoyed by them.
Oh, for sure.
He's just like, oh my God. He's annoyed with humanity. He's like, this is your fault as a society, as a species, that I still have to intertwine and mingle with these little fucking fucks.
I have to entertain these pathetic nobodies.
These disgusting, pathetic nobodies.
Oh, man. And you know that when he's like signing that contract, his pinky is up. He's like, I can't believe I'm even doing this.
I love the pinky up, a bothered signature. Right.
It's I got the sound effect here.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. Yeah. I guess I'll do this with you guys. Give me the paper. Thank you. Pinky up. Justin Timberlake. Dot the I. Cross the T.
Did you just do that with your mouth?
I did.
The signature sound?
Yeah. It's Eminem. Yeah. Dear Slim, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling.
It's fucking Eminem. Talk about someone who we're good on, I think. Where are you at with that? Eminem.
I want him to drop just a fire song. I'll listen to him. I check in. Anytime he puts something out, sure. I check it out, of course, just to see. But I don't. I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I like his old stuff, of course. That's what anybody says about anybody.
Right.
But I don't think he's fallen off necessarily. I think he's still doing it. What he's still doing great, better than anybody in the game, I think. I just used that term, in the game. I feel so official. What he's doing better than anybody in the game right now. I don't think I'm street enough to use that word. Game.
You are.
Maybe a little bit.
I have anointed you.
Thank you. I'll take that anointment. What I think he's still doing better than anyone is his alliteration.
Yeah, that's just true.
The man has such a knowledge of how many words are out there that he can just interlace things. I'll find stuff that he says on an older song that I'll understand now in a new way.
Sure.
And it'll blow my mind.
Absolutely.
And I think that says a lot about him as an artist. And I'll hear new stuff too. And he just goes so fast. I always wonder how true his freestyling ability is. Right? Supposedly Rap God was just off the top of the dome straight. Supposedly.
That's amazing.
Which if that's true, my God, that's a whole other level of talent.
Yeah.
But I don't even know how to explain how he gives double meaning to certain words. I don't have to have swine flu to be a sick pig, or just he'll say certain lines that when you listen back, it has 2 or 3 meanings. Like there's layers to it. I don't know how to explain it. I would have to find an actual quote and listen and explain it. But That's what I think he still does amazing.
Yeah.
And actually, ever since he started getting sober, I think he thinks clearer.
Yeah.
And is able to do even better at that.
Absolutely. Yeah. He wasn't able to avoid the obligatory, I'm sober now and I'm going to make a whole album about the fact that I'm sober now. He wasn't able to avoid that.
No.
And that's fine. You got to get that out of your system in sobriety.
Yeah.
I know that firsthand. I wanted to do everything artistically about how I'm sober now. It's even hard not to still think about it. But that's 100% true. And I think any artist getting sober is always afraid that they're going to lose that spark. You know, it's like that, like, if I'm not a tortured artist,
Yeah.
then what am I going to do? But the truth of the matter is exactly what you said, especially with Eminem. He thinks clearer. He's better. He's brought his thing to another level, you know, consistently at better than he ever has. And his shit isn't just filled with resentment and rage. Like, he's worked out his stuff. Like, he's done his therapy and his step work.
Yeah.
And it's not just him hating the world or his mom and his ex-wife. That's kind of all his stuff used to be a little bit, which brought a grittiness to it that was cool. And at the same time, you got to grow up. Like, you can't be 40 and 50 still hating your ex-wife and your mom. Like, you just, that would just be weird. You're like, dude, you know, your mom, your ex-wife, like, there's other things happening in the world. Like, let's not stew on that.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. There's a lot of debate. I don't know about debate, but that's definitely in the conversation where, you know, people will say old Eminem was the best Eminem. But then if old Eminem tapped in, or if new Eminem tapped into old Eminem, then people say, well, you're 50, 40, you're rich as fuck, and you're still complaining about your life.
Yeah.
So it's almost like he can't really win. He has to find a way to bring that, like, anger and outlook on life to the future without rapping about the same ex-girlfriend, mom troubles, and all of that.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear him talk about murdering people a little bit more again.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to hear him do that one.
Yeah.
Even then, though, that's kind of cringe. Like, that kind of goes into, like, the whole, like, Joker thing I was talking about in the first episode. Like, you know, you can't be 40 and 50 and, you know, and be thinking about, I just want to watch the world burn. It's like, come on.
And,
like,
having your alter ego stand still.
Yeah.
Which actually, some of those songs, I do really like the format of
Totally.
Guilty Conscience, where Dr. Dre is his conscience, and I don't know, something like that, or something like Stan, a song where he's like back and forth internally with these voices.
Totally.
He's done that a few times throughout his career, and I tend to like the way that those go. Maybe because I have a dark sense of humor, and so I see the darkness in it.
Right.
What I will say that I do respect about him is he's able to look at his career and look at his stuff and say, yeah, that was garbage. Like his Relapse album, I think. He's like, that belongs in the trash. Absolutely garbage.
Is that because he relapsed? Is that what it was about? I don't know.
I don't really know. That's like, probably the album I've listened to the least.
No wonder it was shit. A relapse is like, you're just like the dumbest you've ever been during a relapse. You're like trying to convince yourself that you don't have a problem after fully admitting you have a problem. It's like so odd. So anything he could have put down on paper was just utterly bullshit, I'm sure.
I think that song where he's it's not Shake That, but where he's like in the theater talking about diddling himself to movies.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Mm.
I think that was on that album.
Yeah. Well, he must have relapsed in a couple of other ways. Then,
Yeah.
He must have had a couple of different relapses.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Including movie masturbation relapse.
It's a big problem for him, I guess.
I can see it. I've been, since before we started this, I've wondered about your music tastes. We've never talked much about it.
That's true.
I don't know. What do you What do you like?
It's hard to pin down. My music taste is for real all over the place. Mm-hmm. I really do like a little bit of everything. I'm more someone that if someone shows me a song, a good song that just gets my head kind of bopping like this, right?
Ooh.
Where I'm like, okay, I feel this. It doesn't matter if it's rap, if it's a song from the 50s, if it's hardcore rock. And I will say I'm not outright the biggest fan of screamo, metal, headbanging, even country. However, if someone shows me a song where I'm like, that actually sounds really cool, it's got a sick guitar riff, or this touches a place in me that makes me feel something. Yeah. I'm all game for it.
Definitely.
I'll listen. I'll go from Frank Sinatra to Tupac, 0 to 60, in a second.
Real fucking fast.
Real fast. But any song that can, it's almost like Hypnotize by Biggie Smalls. Yeah. Every time I hear that song, it's like the first time. Just that first drop of. Ooh. Instantly, you're like, oh, fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's gonna get you through the day.
It is, man.
That's gonna get you through the day. I wish we had video because we're both doing a little bit of
we're both doing the oh shit head bob. We're like fucking vibing with this song. It's playing in my head right now, which is why I'm just on cue with it.
It's funny because God, I thought Hypnotize was a different song.
What did you think it was?
I thought Hypnotize was the song where he goes like, "It's all good, baby, baby. It was all a dream."
I used to read what a magazine.
Exactly.
That's juicy.
That's
all was dedicated to all the teachers who told me I'll never amount to nothing.
You're not bad at that.
Thank you.
You're not bad at that. And that's what I thought Hypnotize was. I don't know why. You see, it's funny because like when I get into Biggie, I'm like, I like Gimme the Loot. Talking about
Gimme the Loot is good.
Talking about songs like the Eminem song where he's kind of doing an alter ego thing. That's an interesting one where Biggie did that one. He kind of did that.
Yeah.
I will reiterate one of my favorite lines of all time, Biggie Smalls. I know there's no video here, but I'm black. And I'm going to say the N-word right now. I just need people to know that I'm black.
Let me sit in this chair a little. I'm going to sit back for this one.
Sit tight.
Okay.
I just don't want to jump into that. I don't sound black. I know. I know that.
Are you black? I guess I've never noticed.
Yeah. You didn't catch the lips on me? Just kidding. You didn't see the outline of my cock in these sweatpants?
I did, but I tried to pretend I didn't.
Not only black people have big dicks, lots of people have big dicks. All races, shapes, and sizes. And that's like the default. There's other things. You didn't see my credit score on the way in here? No, I'm just kidding. You didn't see my children following me in a little line as I don't pay their child support? Damn it. I don't want to do default. Anyways, I like that, though. I think that's funny. We need not. Hopefully none of us ever goes up for a bid on Saturday Night Live.
That goes really well with your comedy style, though. Like, yeah, I don't know. You know what we should talk about, actually, because we've talked a lot about like film school stuff that I've experienced. What about comedy stuff that you've experienced? Ooh. Because one thing that I can say just from going to see you the times that I've seen you is it seems like every single comic had a joke about Walmart.
Right.
Every single one. They all came on and it was Walmart, Walmart, Walmart.
Yeah. And I had the best one.
You did have the best one. You absolutely had. No, you did. I'm not just being biased. You absolutely had the best one. Right. So, I mean, do you notice anything like that in comedy?
Just like trends in what people are doing. You know what I do notice? People outright do steal jokes from things. I've seen people do a Key and Peele bit on stage. Really? And I'm like, that's a Key and Peele bit.
Yeah.
Someone did a Black Ice bit. You remember that sketch from Key and Peele?
No.
It's like a news segment about black ice.
Oh, I have.
And like, I've seen someone do that bit here in Albuquerque.
Really?
In like stand up, in like a a dingy bar. And I'm like, that's Key and Peele. I've seen people do Kevin Hart bits.
Oh, man.
People outright just do bits from like famous like comedians.
Yeah.
They just do like straight up. Like I've seen it multiple times. Comedy is so weird. I feel so existential about it. And I don't know if I said this in the last one. I know I talked about it, but I don't know if I talked about the existential trip I'm having about it. It's really it just feels like such a weird concept to me to run around and get up in front of a crowd and attempt to make them all laugh. The desperation factor involved is what's making me feel weird too. There's a real like, please laugh at me.
Yeah.
Behind it. It feels like, please, can you guys please just talk to me?
Oh, I get that. Anybody who likes to make people laugh, that's definitely a pressure. There's no feeling better in the world than making somebody laugh. And there's no worse feeling in the world than having a joke fall flat.
Right.
You would want to crawl in a hole and die.
Definitely. It's hard to... This is going to sound pretentious-y, I think. It's going to sound like I think I'm better. And I kind of do. No, I'm just kidding. I just got a sense, one thing that I did a lot of like work on myself while I was doing comedy. Comedy is a business for lost souls. It seems like comedy is a business for lost souls and like alternatives and not even outcasts, but it's very, I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking about like, and I love all my comedian friends and I love you guys. I do. If none of you listen to this, you probably won't. I don't know. I haven't been around. And it's like, life got really real. And like, it's like when my uncle died, I wasn't like, I need to make comedy to feel better. It was like I needed a lot of therapy and God. And like, I'm just like, maybe I'm not like as much of a comedian as I thought I was, because I feel like most people I see in the comedy world are just like, let's take my trauma and turn it into comedy. And I'm like, yeah, that's not how it works for me. I'm going to die if I do that.
Yeah.
And 100%. I feel like I see a lot of people in the comedy world dying. And I feel bad. I wish I could show them that you can still be funny and not, hold on to your pain so strongly. And like any fucking artistic field, it's incredibly narcissistic and selfish, and there's a lot of unity. And at the same time, I know any one of these motherfuckers would cut any of the other motherfuckers down just to get a leg up. And I know that, and they can't tell me that, because I would have done that to them and they would have done that to me.
Man,
I know that they would have. And my problem is, the reason I know I did kind of talk about this last time, but it's like, I don't want to be in competition with everyone. And it's not that they are making me feel like I'm in competition. I'm the one who feels like I'm in competition.
Yeah.
I'm the one who every time I step into a show feels like I need to do better than everyone, and that I'm preying on everyone else's failures so that I can be better than them. And I don't like that about myself.
Yeah. You don't like who you become when it...
I don't like who I have become at times during my comedy career, quote unquote. And that's not a fun way to do it. And so, and like, I don't know. I wonder if that's what goes through other people's heads half the time. Like, there is a lot of unity in the comedy community. And I guess I could never get down on that. I'm like sober. Like, there's not a lot of comedians who are like in sobriety, like trying to work on themselves, trying to become different people. Like, there's a lot of people getting fucked up, people fucking around. And it's like, I also know that life too, where like before I got sober, I did a lot of sitting around and talking about what I'm going to do and who I'm going to be.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of doing or being. There was just a lot of, let's sit around and talk. And this is what I hate. And this goes back into the film school thing, right? And I think this is like comedy world stuff too, where it's just like, it's like no one knows how to talk to each other because everyone's just walking around kind of doing this like, oh, yeah, let's get together and do that. And I'm working on this and I'm looking at putting a show together over at, and it's like, okay, that's fine. Like, that's fine. But like, who are you? Like, you know, like, who the hell are you? Like, it's like you get into that vibe and it's like no one knows how to like do anything besides like pretend they want to work together.
I feel that. I think that's in any industry.
Yeah,
for sure. I've seen that too. It's a lot of talk.
Yep.
We should work together, man. What are you guys doing now? I'm doing a thing. Everybody always is up to something. Everyone's always, I'm working on a thing.
Exactly.
I'm doing something. We should, let's definitely get together sometime. I'd love to collaborate. Oh, that sentence right there. Let's collaborate. The amount of times that is said and the amount of times that it never happens.
Right.
And I mean, I'm at fault for being on both sides of being the one who says, yeah, we should collaborate and not going through with it, and being the one who is told we should collaborate, but also still not. I'm equally at fault. I do that too. Why do we do that?
I don't know. I think everyone wants to feel like they got something going on. Everyone wants to feel like they're heading in a direction, in a positive direction. And everyone wants to feel like they're capable of doing something big. That's the whole reason we're in this thing.
It's true.
And I don't know. To me, there's just the spiritual component of it is that you have to do whatever you do without attachment to it. And that's why I think doing this podcast, like obviously my mind still goes kind of big and I'm like, oh, it would be great if we could. But at the same time, I feel like we both have such a non-attachment where it's like, if this becomes nothing, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like it's totally cool. Like we're hanging out, friends, having a good time. We're talking, it's almost like a public speaking class, you know, you're getting some chops, just learning how to talk.
Definitely.
Things like that, you know.
I mean, we don't act like we want to be a part of something. We do want to be a part of something.
Of course.
It's the same phenomenon as saying like, oh, it's been so long. We should meet up.
Right.
Let's hang out. Let's definitely. We should. I'll let you know.
Right.
There's some friendships that I've had where it's nothing but that. Every few months. Hey, how have you been? Good. Oh, dude, it's been a long time.
Right.
We should do this. Yeah, definitely.
I feel like we almost had that, me and you, but it turned into something else. Yeah. Like what we talked about in the last episode where we started meeting almost in like a spiritual context. And we also kind of got close on other levels because I started getting like, it's weird. Like you would come to my shows, but then we'd still go do something after type of thing, you know? And we almost could have had that. But then me and you, I think, have done work on ourselves where we're like, let's do something. And then we actually did it.
Yeah, right. We actually went through with it.
I'm just in a place where like, this is my dilemma. This is my dilemma. I realize two things. A, the best way to stay sober is to help other people get sober. That's my dilemma.
Yeah.
And I told myself when I got sober this time that staying sober is my priority and that I would let go of anything for that, including fucking comedy.
Wow.
Comedy doesn't mean shit compared to my sobriety. That's the difference between
huge.
Me and some other comedians. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean I'm better. That doesn't mean I'm worse. That doesn't mean the context is completely different. But I challenge anyone who's into anything, like, would you give that up to just live in peace? And like spiritually, like I have to like accept that that's a huge possibility.
Yeah.
And the other problem is I've learned that in life, there's nothing else to do but build yourself up spiritually and help other people. And that those are like the only two things that matter in life.
Growth.
And like, I know that now. And it's hard for me to buy into the chase of comedy when I know that doing comedy will never fulfill me in the way that helping other people will. Just helping people who are suffering. There's no way in the world I'm not convinced that, and it, once again, doesn't make me better, doesn't make me worse, nothing. It's just, I'm not convinced that the comedy grind will ever fulfill me in a way that helping other people will. And that's really my dilemma. That's my fucking dilemma. And that goes for film too. That goes for everything. That goes for this podcast even. Mm-hmm. Now, thank God there's outlets, because I think this podcast, which is why I'm doing it, is a much easier way to like let out my creative endeavor than going to fucking open mics 3 to 4 times a week and getting on a fucking show once or twice a week that I get $20 and a couple of chuckles for. Like, it's like, and I don't want to grind that out and try and travel and blah, 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 blah. I think I just kind of hit that point where I'm just like, what am I doing here? And like, what's more important? Because I can go to AA meetings anywhere in the country if I became a traveling comedian. But at the same time, like, I'm 26. I want to settle down. I don't know about you. I'm not trying to be a fucking rock star anymore.
Start a jet setter career.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, I think too, it comes back to you become part of who you hang out with, right? So if you're around all these depressed, self-deprecating comedians 3 or 4 times a week,
right,
and you're trying to bring yourself up, that's hard.
Exactly.
I know that struggle for sure. And the comedy world specifically has a lot of that. You see a lot of self-deprecating comedians and a lot of comedians that just talk about how shitty their life is, and that's where they. And I mean, I get it, because comedy comes from pain, a lot of it.
Sure.
And I definitely saw that when watching you do stand-up, is a lot of the other comedians were like fucked up. Well, I mean, they were funny. Yeah. But you can tell there was definitely some shit going on. There was a dark aura about them, you know?
Totally.
And so for you, who's trying to get to a better place, and you're around these people 70% of your week, that's taxing.
Totally.
Yeah, it's a much more of an uphill battle, and you're totally right about giving. That's one of the human like 7 needs or something like that.
Right.
Is growth and to give. If we're not growing, that's when your happiness starts to stunt. And you know, so if your life is comedy and you think I have nothing without comedy, then you just keep doing it even if it doesn't bring you happiness. So finding that separation of, I love comedy, but I am not, that is not all I am.
Right.
You know, I can separate myself from that, and I can enjoy it and maybe dabble in it. It's not like you've gotten any less funny.
Right.
You know, I can say that confidently. It's not like, oh, he got sober and he lost his touch.
Right.
You're still really fucking funny. But if going on stage 3 or 4 times a week doesn't bring you joy, or it tends to set you back, then absolutely you should step away from that. And you can still bring your shit. You can bring your shit here to the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, and you can talk about stand up, or you can still be funny and crack jokes and get, like you said, that have that creative outlet.
Yeah. I just listened to the Tim Dillon podcast, and he was saying that. He was just like, what's the point of going through the fucking comedy shenanigans besides the money? Obviously, he's making fucking bank because his podcast is so big, but it's like, what's the point of going through that fucking song and dance when I can just come be funny on a podcast for an hour or 2 a week and have just as much fulfillment and less stress and all that stuff. And
you might have even more of an audience.
Oh, yeah.
Versus, I was always baffled at how small those rooms were.
Right.
Even at their most packed.
Right.
There were maybe 20 people in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not anything like, it's just why you have to be that committed. So there's like, I feel like you have to be that committed to, you love comedy so much, you know it's the only thing you can do. No matter how hard it gets, you love it that much. And I don't think that's many people, but it's like, that's a pretty rare thing. Or like you said, comedy is the only thing you think you can do. And at that point, you're trapped, because the second it doesn't work out, who are you?
What do you have to fall back on?
What do you have to fall back on? You don't have anything, unfortunately.
You know, with that, I am curious, you know, what your process was like.
Yeah.
A day in the life of comedian Elijah, because that's always something that's really, really fascinated me, is the joke writing process.
Totally.
Because I think it's one thing to be funny, but it's another thing to take that funny and translate it into a stand-up comedy format. And I've never understood that.
Right.
I can't sit down and write a bit, but in the moment I can make somebody laugh.
Right.
So what would that look like for you? Like how you would have a funny thought, I'm assuming, and then how would you take that funny thought and translate it into something that could be told on stage?
My stuff was pretty spontaneous. Like I never really had like I need to sit down and really think, and I would have little things come up throughout the day, like kind of like you were saying, like little things come up throughout the day, like little splish splash here and there. I would typically like write a note in like my notes on my phone. Like I could even like pull something up just to give you like an idea.
Yeah.
Like I wrote, like here it says like feminism is our friend. I save hundreds of dollars each week on feminism, because I don't have to pay for everything.
Yeah.
Because my girlfriend's a strong, independent woman and refuses to let me. So men, be a feminist. It's going to save you money.
There you go.
So then that's something like that. Like once I have that type of a thing, like I will kind of go and probably write out a couple of different versions of whatever, like turn that into a little bit of longer form.
Yeah.
And what I had to learn with the comedy is like, you got to do punchline. This is the biggest issue with comedians. Any comedian that does this, some comedians just want to be storytellers, but they don't do punchlines. So they just tell stories.
Yeah.
And then you're like, if I wanted to hear someone tell stories, I'd get an audiobook.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, where's the story going? If you're going to tell a story comedically, there has to be incremental, it has to be a bunch of jokes, like narratively lined up together with build up punchline, build up punchline, build up punchline throughout the story. If you watch any great fucking comedian storyteller, that's kind of what they're doing.
Kevin Hart is kind of the master at that right now.
Totally.
Great storytelling with.
Absolutely. And he is not letting too much time pass between punchlines.
Right.
Because he knows that that's what needs to be done. It's a comedy show and you got to keep the audience engaged. I would try and come up with a little something, and then like I would try and see how it would fit into everything else I have.
Yeah.
I'm pretty big on the set list, so I love a good set list.
Okay.
I love to craft a set list. God damn it. I'm just sitting here talking about how like I'm probably not going to do comedy anymore. And I'm like, I do love a good set list though. I don't want to fucking grind it out. And that's fine. Like if I never, anyways. Segues. I would put thought though into like who I want to be, how I want to be it. How do I want to present myself as a comedian?
Yeah, because then not only do you have the joke, now you have to develop the timing of it.
Yes.
Like your presence on the stage.
Definitely.
There's different, and some people are like, hi everyone. I was walking through the store. I don't know if you've ever noticed when you're walking through the store. Then you have someone else who can. I was walking through the store the other day, man. I don't know. Let me know if this ever happened to you guys. I was walking through the store and my friend Trent was like,
right. Totally.
Very loud, like, whoa, a lot of energy. But it works for each person.
Right.
There are those people who talk very quiet and subtle, and it almost makes you listen a little bit more.
Yeah.
And their dry demeanor is, I think whatever you figured out for yourself, though, you nailed it. You got your presence. You figured out your style, your timing,
Yeah. It's so hard, dude. What do you do when you know you have a gift, but you don't know what you want to do with it? Like, it's like, I don't know. Like, even sitting here and I hear that and I'm like, fuck, like I probably should do it. But it's like, I don't know. It's hard,
I think you could still take the gift and the talent you have and translate it into a healthier outlet for you, where maybe now you're not taking that stuff and translating it for stage, but translate it for screen.
Yep.
You and I could sit down and probably write a script.
Right.
And we should.
We should.
I think I pitched this to you a while back that I had a TV show idea that I really wanted to, that I was like, I think your voice would be great on this for writing it. And I still do. And I still, that show always pops up in my mind as like an idea to develop and create.
I know exactly which one it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, there's a couple.
Right.
Actually, there's the one you actually started helping us on.
I remember that one.
And then there's the one that I've just like gave you the rough outline of.
Your little idea.
Yeah. And that is a way that I could see you still giving the world your gift, this podcast too.
Definitely.
But not to where you're like going down to a dark place again.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. I think it's just funny. Like, I heard Seth Rogen say that. I heard Seth Rogen, he said he was a stand-up comedian in Canada.
Cancun.
In Canada. He was a stand-up comedian in Canada. He went to Los Angeles. He went to do stand-up, and he looked around and he said, "Oh, these guys are really stand-up comics. Like they they are so committed to the suffering of a stand-up. I think I'm just gonna like act and write funny movies." And it's like, yeah, that makes sense to me. I could like kind of relate to that, where I'm like, yeah, you know what sounds awful? Going to multiple open mics a week and just doing 5 minutes each time. God, that sounds terrible. That just sounds so terrible.
Yeah, I've wondered what is worse, like having a short amount of time like that to fill, or having a longer time.
Longer time.
Longer time is worse.
That's where I thrive. I need 10 to 15 minutes, and I've been able to do a decent almost 30 minutes before. And that's way more fun because you get to like construct a narrative, which is why I probably should just write television. Yeah. Because like I want to construct a narrative, a comedic narrative.
Yeah.
You know?
I've always wanted to try to write stand-up. I've only ever written one bit. Because for years I've tried and been like, how can I organically sit here and try to do one? And I don't even know if it's a bit. And it actually was only a few weeks ago.
Really?
That it came to me. And it was a realization. It was an observation. And I went, that could probably translate to stage.
Right. Are you going to do it? Or
do you want me to do it?
Save it.
Patreon.
Which, so.
Not to get too adsy on you.
Not to get too adsy. But I think, and that's one of those things. It's like, let's get a Patreon. You can hear Estevan's joke. You can hear my joke. Or you can hear me self-loathe a little more. Okay. You can hear me self-obsess a little more.
Like it.
I think I'm the main character. And that's my biggest problem. Main character syndrome.
All cameras are on you right now.
That's how I feel. I have main character syndrome, not afraid to admit it.
I get that.
You get that too.
I feel that. I feel like whenever I'm walking through a grocery store or something, all the cameras are on me.
Yes.
Everyone is a suspect. Right. Something is going to happen in this store. I'm either being hunted or I'm being, watched. Right. Or I'm about to pull off a heist. That's what goes through my mind. And actually one time I was in the grocery store and that happened. They made an announcement and it sounded so sus to me. And I wish I could remember exactly what they said. Right. But they were doing something weird. They were like, attention all grocery workers. Right. It's about that time now, or now's the time. And they had some weird like word. And I was going, oh man, somebody hijacked the PA system and a group of people are about to pull off some kind of grand heist here. It's about to go down. And I was the main character in that situation.
I love that.
And I was ready to fight.
You were. You are the main character though. I think you're actually the main character.
Everyone's a main character. Everyone should be a main character.
That's the whole point of perception.
Yeah. So yeah, look, not to get too markety. Yeah. But let us know if we had a Patreon, is that something you guys would subscribe to? Right. We're thinking like nothing crazy. $3 to $5 a month. What's the sales pitch? For the price of a cup of coffee, you could, get a subscription to.
You do that so well. It's wonderful. You make me feel like I'm at a horse race.
And here comes Lucky Champ coming in at number 1, followed by Old Sock and Rusty Spittoon. I don't know how those people do. I would love to be that quick mentally to come up with that stuff, but I'm not. And I don't know why do people name horses that kind of shit?
I don't know.
What
man.
a disservice to the horses. They're out here doing the most, and you know, one wrong move, and they snap their ankle, and they got a bullet between their eyes.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're having to fucking shoot a horse in the face named Rusty Sock.
Named Rusty Sock. I can't believe everything has just like a gritty dark side, doesn't it? It's like on the outside, it's like horse racing.
Yeah,
and then like behind the scenes, it's like horse murder.
Yeah. Yeah, man. What a fucked up life.
Like, what a way to live. We just do it. Humans, we just love to take a thing and just like
kill it.
Kill it. We do. That's
do,
a good point. We love to take stuff and just like kill it.
What a shitty life a horse lives.
I know.
They're hauling your little jockey ass in loops for how many laps do they do?
Yeah.
Absurd amount of laps.
A little guy, some guy with a fucking short man complex, just riding you and spanking you. Just constantly spanking you.
You rarely get your story told, you know, Seabiscuit.
Yeah. Right.
Regular Spirit movie. Warhorse.
Warhorse.
I got to be honest, man. Most horse movies are boring.
Yeah.
Way boring.
They don't need to do any more of that.
No more horse movies.
What's the point?
Maybe I don't know enough about the horse culture.
Right.
To appreciate it. I'm sure I just upset like a bunch of farmers and like people who own horses and have land. And I you know, maybe my opinion would change if I ever actually rode a horse.
Right.
Like, wow, this is such a beautiful, majestic animal.
Yeah.
And they are anyway.
And they are.
But a movie about a horse.
I'm not big on animals as main characters at all.
Oh.
Air Bud. No, I'm just kidding. But like
Beethoven.
Here's what I think about Air Bud. Let me tell you what I think about Air Bud. Fucking dog.
Fucking.
In dog years, he's like 30. You're a 30-year-old running around with a bunch of high school kids.
Playing basketball and football and volleyball. How many sports has Air Bud done now?
I don't even know.
Air Bud's a fucking athlete, man.
Dude, I actually kind of impressed, huh?
Get him a scholarship.
Get him something.
Get
him his own movie.
Yeah. They should do an ESPN 30 for 30 on Air Bud.
That would actually be kind of funny. If that was real, that's what I love about movies. Is like, if that was real, and it would never be, but it's interesting to imagine what it would be like if it was.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's funny. You know what would happen if a dog became a star athlete? The other thing about that is a dog would never be a star athlete. Imagine a dog playing football.
You can't catch him.
You can't catch him, but if he tried to come at you face straight forward, and I'd put my big black body on him and squish him.
Yeah.
Like a bug.
Yeah. Or just put your boot up.
Just put my boot up. I just give him the old 1-2. The old what for?
Oh, man, we're going to get contacted by PETA or something for animal cruelty. We're not actually doing this shit, guys.
We're here advocating for not putting animals as leads in films.
Yeah.
That's more cruelty.
Yeah. And horses named Rusty Sock. Stop naming them that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Stop with the disrespect.
We just exposed corrupt racing industry, horse racing industry.
Yeah, we did.
So PETA...
We're not the real enemy here, PETA.
I just noticed, did you used to DoorDash?
Yeah.
Really?
I did. I did for a little bit.
During the pandy?
During the pandy.
Damn.
Pandy.
What was that like?
Not as bad as I thought it would be. Because what's nice about it is you get to drive around, listen to your music.
Yeah.
Listen to Redband podcast, whatever.
Yeah, subscribe.
Subscribe.
Rate.
Smash that like button if it's
Smash that
to
like
follow. And then because of the pandy, people would often choose to just leave it at my door.
Yep.
So you're not even really interacting with anybody, which is the
Exactly.
worst part of the food industry, I think, is interacting with fucking people.
Yeah.
I did have a few pain in the ass instances. Like I had this one restaurant that's local here, and they're not huge or anything. So they didn't have a lot of stuff set up with DoorDash properly. And so I went there and the lady had her order, but it wasn't detailed enough. So when I was showing the cashier what the order was, she had no idea what some of the stuff meant. Like she'd be like, this says red chili and this is chicken, but like red chili chicken what? Like enchiladas, tamale, choco? Like I don't know what it is. And then the person who ordered through DoorDash already paid, right? Because that's how DoorDash does it.
Right.
But the price she paid didn't match up with the total that the restaurant had. So I was in that fucking thing for probably an hour, hour and a half on the phone with her, waiting for stuff to go through, just trying to organize everything. And if you've ever DoorDashed or done Uber Eats, Postmates, whatever, you know time is money. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting here for an hour and a half for this fucking $10 order when in that hour and a half I could have made probably $30. So in my head, of course, I'm giving people the benefit of the doubt and I'm thinking, well, maybe this lady will see all the trouble I'm going through to get her order and to get her stuff right. Maybe she'll tip me really well, because that has happened. One person, real quick, I was at this Chinese restaurant getting her food and they were taking forever. Mm-hmm. And I just kept updating her and I was like, I'm so sorry, they're taking a long time. And then a person came and parked behind me and like blocked me into my parking space. So I couldn't leave. And so I told her that too. I was like, they got out of their car and they left. I don't know where they went. I'm so sorry. I'm like blocked in here now. Then her house was still about 20 minutes away. Mm-hmm. So by the time I got her food, it was significantly later, but she tipped me really well for all the trouble. And she left me a good review on the app.
Nice.
So I thought maybe this lady will do kind of the same thing. And not only that, but then her place was impossible to find with the apartment that she was at. I was on the phone. She's like, "Are you here?" And I said, "I believe so. I'm at the front door, I think." And no, that's the wrong one. You need to come around here. And so I'm like going on this goose chase for this lady. And I finally hand her the bag and she just goes, "Okay, thank you." And then, I where I was versus where my car was, because then I sprinted. I ran around the whole fucking thing to get to where she was.
Wow.
And I said, "Could I just cut through there actually so I don't have to?" And she's like, "No, sorry." Didn't let me walk back. So I had to go all the way back around. I completed the order on the app, didn't tip, nothing. And I was so done. And the thing that's really sucked about that night is when I signed up for DoorDash, I did it through my dad's link.
Yeah.
And if I had a certain amount of deliveries in a certain amount of time, we would both get some money from DoorDash.
Okay.
So that was the last night to do it. And I was a few orders shy. So I was like, please, let me get this. And I wasted an hour and a half on her. I ended up getting it barely.
Oh, okay.
Barely.
Wow.
I ended up doing it, but I was out till like 10 p.m., I think, DoorDashing, something like that, just to get it. Other than situations like that, it was really pretty chill.
Not bad.
To be honest. Yeah.
Other than that, not a bad time.
Yeah. Other than those situations, there were some, you know what I noticed with DoorDash is people were so weird. And I don't know if that was just people or if that was the pandemic. But some people would leave instructions like text me when you're here, call me when you're here.
Right.
And those people that I would call, they acted like they had no idea food was coming for them. I'd call them and I'd say, "Hi, this is your DoorDash order." And they'd go, okay. All right. Like, do you not remember ordering fucking food? Did you not? Or they'd answer the door and they'd be, and I'm like, "Hey, your DoorDash order. Yeah, you can just leave it right there." What the fuck? Why are you tweaking right now? Were you not expecting me coming?
So they would act like anime characters?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was getting food.
I didn't know.
Just put it there.
It's very breathy. It's
or
very
like Kristen
breathy industry.
Stewart, Twilight, like we talked about. They were doing that. They were like, food?
I forgot I ordered DoorDash. Yeah. It was weird. It was really weird. I don't know why people were like that, but other than that, it was all right.
No,
you make some money. You can make some money. doing it. It just depends.
Did you ever have to deliver to like the war zone?
I actively avoided that area. I did once.
Yeah.
I did one time. Nothing bad happened, but you feel so uneasy the whole time.
A little bit, huh?
You're thinking, I'm not making it back from this trip right now.
You're like, you make sure all your colors are right.
Yeah. Yeah. Neutral colors. No, I'm not listening to any rap music or, nothing.
I'm very clear that I am delivering a DoorDash.
The food for someone in your gang, probably. Or, your clan, whatever the fuck.
Do you think gangsters DoorDash? Do you think they order DoorDash?
They order DoorDash, and they're the ones I noticed. A lot of the Warzone orders would come at like 3 p.m. or late as shit in the night. Right. They typically wouldn't tip or like they would do the very base amount and they expected you to drive 20 minutes with all this food for $3.
Yep. And be excited about it.
Yes.
And risk your life.
And risk my life. Yeah. Not for me.
No.
Going to that area.
No.
I anytime I saw, because you can see in the app where they're wanting it to be delivered.
Right.
And so I would just be like, nah.
You're like, ooh.
I'm going to skip that one.
You're
Definitely.
like, ooh, San Mateo and Gibson. I don't know about that one.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah. It's funny. Like that 3 p.m. order. Do you think like it's like a midday gang, like staff meeting? Where they're like, okay, guys, we're going to cater the thug meeting.
Yeah.
We're going to cater our gang meeting. We've got, I really need to talk to everyone about customer service.
How we act in the workplace.
I'm getting a lot of complaints.
I'm buying a 10-piece from McDonald's and everyone gets one McNugget. That's it.
Dennis, I'm going to need you to stop showing your gun to the customers so quickly.
Yeah, you're jumping the gun on that one.
Yeah.
Dennis, pun fully intended.
Pun fully intended. Maybe if you did a little less meth, you wouldn't be so paranoid. Maybe stop using the product. And also, by the way, we know you've been skimping the product. We have to kill you now in front of everyone. Yeah. Right here. We have to kill you. I hope you realize that. This is what this whole meeting was actually about, is we're going to murder you to make an example out of you in front of your fellow brethren.
Which means, guys, that there will be one extra McNugget now. Whoever wants dibs.
Or it's like Lord of the Rings, where it's like, I guess meat's back on the menu, boys.
Yeah.
They just cannibalize him. No, I'm
my God. That's a ruthless gang right there.
Yeah, the Orkai.
The what?
The Urkai from Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
I'm just kidding. That's the ruthless gang. It was popping. It was good. It was good, lucrative business. These third-party food delivery services.
Well, and everyone had their stimmies.
Everyone had their stimmies.
They were popping tags, dude. They were lighting it the fuck up. Let me hop on this app and order. I got you guys. Today lunch is on me.
Today lunch is on me. No one knew what to do with themselves with a stimmy.
Yeah.
No one knew how to act.
Everyone acted like, oh, I'm fucking it now.
Yes.
Everyone who talks shit about me, look out. I got my stimmy.
Watch out, world.
Rent? Not for me.
The problem is you learn as an adult that $1,000 is fucking nothing.
It's really close to nothing.
It's like as close as you can get to $0.
Yeah.
And mean nothing. $1,000 can get you a whole lot of nothing.
It's true. That is a very true statement.
$1,000 could last you like 5 days, and you're not even splurging.
Though, if that 5 days, I wish.
I wish, right?
Yeah, I wish.
You pay a couple bills. Oops, your tire went flat. That's 800 of those $1,000 right there
for one tire, man.
For one fucking tire.
What a fucked up industry, the auto mechanic industry. Because they know what they got. They know you need your car. I can charge you $800 for one fucking tire, and you're gonna do it because you need it.
Because you need it. It's like iPhone chargers.
Yep.
they'll fucking get you. Not anymore. Actually, chargers are cheap now. But still, that's just like one thing. It's like the necessity. AirPods. You want Apple AirPods? You want to connect those AirPods to your computer? The cord that connects it, $700. $700.
You want to use our products?
Happy to have you on board. Just sign away your first child.
Yeah, that's
Right
all
here.
it takes. And
So,
you know
yeah.
what? Kind of worth it.
Kind of. I don't know if you saw today. There was a thing that came out today that said the new iPhone update, you can FaceTime with Androids and shit.
Really?
Is it Androids? What's the other?
That's really it.
That's
It's
just it,
either
right?
Apple or Android.
Right. And it's with the new update. So I can FaceTime my girlfriend, but her face is going to be like pixelated like an old
Beautiful.
Mario game.
Beautiful. Nice. I can see my friends in 4 pixels.
Yeah. We can show each other our genitals. And mine are going to be crystal clear 4K.
She's going to have the natural like TV distorter that they do to block out stuff. She'll have that just built in.
And hers are going to be like a staticky satellite from fucking the International Space Station.
Yeah. You're like, I can't tell, but I think I like the upper right cluster of pixels. That looks kind of good. Those cubes there, nice.
Yeah.
Nice squares.
I'm poking fun, and I don't know. Is your girlfriend listening to the pod? Mine is.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
like
mine
being
is.
cool. She's like, I walked into her place yesterday and she was listening.
That's nice, dude.
And she
That's a
wants
nice
to listen
feeling.
to it when I'm not around. She's like, I want to listen to it when you're not around. I want to take it in, when it's just me.
So she doesn't feel pressured to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm cool with that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that's
think That's
cool.
great. Yeah. I don't know. She's not really doing much feedback though. She's like, it's nice. You guys did so good.
You're like, well, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I want constructive criticism.
This is an invitation
Yeah,
right here. Constructively criticize us,
let us know what we could do better. Let us know what you like.
please.
And looping back around to the Patreon part.
Yes.
If you subscribe to our Patreon, you can totally tell us what you want to hear in the next episode, and we will talk about it as long as you're a subscriber.
Right.
And we'll give you the shout out. We'll be like, Becky from Arkansas, this episode's for you. You wanted us to talk about whatever.
You wanted us to break down top 5 side boob in cinema history.
Shout out Becky.
Becky.
And we'll do it. So yeah, that's it on the Patreon. If you guys want to subscribe, we're gonna have that set up with tiers and release exclusive content on there that's not on here.
Yep.
Certain segments like my stand-up bit that we were talking about doing.
We got to do it.
I'm nervous.
I know.
I'm nervous about that.
We're going to have to put in some laugh tracks for effect.
Full house music.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be with the laugh track. Just ha 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 ha.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That would help me a lot, I think.
Exactly.
That'd really launch my comedy career to oblivion.
And one day, we could do you actually did an open mic and we record it and put it on YouTube or something.
I'm
That's horrifying, right?
I don't know if I'm built for that.
Yeah.
If I had a list, right? If you're
Sure.
talking about a set list,
You could do
but
it.
I got one joke right now that I don't even know if it's a joke.
And we're gonna
We'll
find
see.
out.
We'll find out.
We're gonna find out. I'm ready to find out.
Are you ready to see what I'm made of?
I am.
You ready to see how the sausage is made?
Yes, I am.
Sausage. I love Gordon Ramsay, man.
Oh my God. I've never really watched until recently, but I've been watching it. I love him.
Oh, it's phenomenal. What a career to just yell at people whatever you want.
You can tell he's such a professional.
Yeah.
You know that he is a vet, television vet. He is clean, pristine, one take wonder. You know he's a one take wonder.
He's like Ray Charles of cooking.
He's the Ray Charles of cooking.
Ray Charles, if you guys didn't know, was like known for He would get an album done one sitting.
Ray Charles.
Ray Charles, man.
Charles Ray.
Yeah.
He would get an album done one sitting like that. And that's what Ramsay will do.
Mm-hmm.
And his food will be just as good.
Incredible. I want to taste his F-word burger that he has at his Planet Hollywood restaurant.
Okay, this I haven't heard of.
He has a YouTube video where he makes it and he shows you how to make it. And he's in his backyard. I've probably seen that video 10 times at least. And I've attempted making the F-word burger that he makes.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Oh, you haven't heard?
I haven't tasted it.
Well, we'll turn the mics on. You and I will whip up some F-word burgers and try them.
Everything's fucking Patreon.
Everything now.
You want to see us make a fucking Ramsay burger? We'll fucking do it.
Patreon.
Honestly, fuck it.
Nah, I'll do that one for free.
Yeah, exactly. What goes on that? What goes on that?
It's real simple.
Okay.
It is bun.
Yep.
It is sauce.
Yep.
And the sauce he uses like a mayo, but it's like a certain kind of mayo.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think it's a chipotle mayo, but it's something else.
Something.
And then you get lettuce.
Yeah.
I think he uses, and I love to use butter lettuce. I don't know if you guys have seen it in the stores. They have it where it's called the living lettuce, and it's in a clear container, and it still has the soil and the roots and everything. And it's just like this head of beautiful, soft, silky, crispy, crunchy butter lettuce. So good. It's perfect for burgers. I don't really like to use any other lettuce than butter lettuce on a burger now. And what he does is he takes the patty, and it's a chuck. I don't even know. It's like a mix of different kinds of meats. And he says that you have them in the fridge, keep them in the fridge, do it the night before.
Right.
And then you take them out to set so they're not cold. That's huge. You don't want to put a patty right on the grill fresh out of the fridge. You want it to sit a little bit.
Huh.
And then he seasons with salt and pepper.
Yeah.
He uses an oil.
Yeah.
And you do the top, you flip it over, do the top, and then you roll the burger in the seasoning and get it all on the sides and piping hot grill. Piping hot. And then he puts the burger on the grill and in the grill. He likes to say on and in a lot. On the burger, in the burger, and on the pan.
On and in and on.
And then while you're doing that, you brush. You close the grill, right? Close it right away. Don't touch the burger. Don't touch it. Let it.
People always want to touch the burger.
They do. They always want to flip it, and they want to flip it multiple times. Stop it. Stop doing that.
People always want to touch the burger like you want to pick a scab or itch a mosquito bite. It's like, don't touch the fucking burger.
Just let it. Let it lie.
Let it lie.
Close the grill.
Yeah.
Incorporates the heat. While you're doing that, you start getting your onions. Same thing. Salt, pepper, oil. Soak it all up. And what do you do with those onions? Grill them.
Fuck.
Grill them. I love grilled onions on a burger because,
Yes.
and this is what he says in the video. He says, the raw onion, the bites, you don't want it to distract from the burger.
It does.
And it's true.
It's true.
You bite into it and it's a raw onion. And I love onions, but it definitely steals the show a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to caramelize them. Get that. My God, it's so good, right?
Yep.
Then you go in, flip the burger, put your buns. I'm a huge advocate for toasted buns.
Yeah,
with
you
a
got to
burger.
have a toasted bun.
Absolutely. Because not only is it just fucking delicious, but it also helps the bun not to get super soggy over the course of eating the burger.
Exactly.
You flip it, set the buns, put the onions, let them caramelize. Then he takes this butter that he made. And again, the kind of butter that he uses escapes me. It's like a mixed butter. And he brushes it on the burger, on the patty, so that way it retains moisture on the grill. Take the buns off. Put a little bit of that mayo right there on the bottom layer. Yeah. And you have to build the burger. You can't deconstruct the burger and then rebuild it. And he says that. And you can't. It's true. Once the burger's built, don't take it apart. You gotta
fucking
build
touch it
and leave it, guys.
Yep.
Leave it. Then he puts the butter lettuce, and he says that you actually take it and you snap it. You like break it, you snap it, and place it down bottom. Then onion on, Tomato. Tomato on. Caramelized onion on. This is the point where if you want cheese on your burger, put the cheese on the burger. Some people don't.
Right.
Whatever. Then you take the burger off, on to the layers. Then a little more of the mayo on the top portion of the top bun.
Yeah.
And then on the burger, toothpick through the middle.
Yep.
And serve it.
On a wood board?
And that is the F-word burger. When you've got neighbors like Kim and Kanye, ripped to that relationship, by the way, living down the street, Stevie Wonder right over here. It's no wonder why I have one of the busiest grills in Hollywood Hills. I just broke that whole video down for you guys. You didn't even ask for it.
I know, and I'm still going to watch it. I have to.
You have to.
So, like...
He does it better, obviously, than I could describe, but...
So he's just whipping up a burger for Kanye and Kim last year. Not right
This was a couple years ago.
Couple years ago.
He made
Not
this
today.
video.
It would just be for Kim
No, it would
and
be.
Kanye's babies
Yeah,
and Kim's next husband
yeah.
and Stevie.
And Stevie.
And you know that motherfucker can taste
Oh, yeah.
because he can't see.
Right.
And so he can taste so well. And you know he's loving a Ramsay burger.
Oh, yeah, man. What a neighborhood to live in, dude. If I lived in that neighborhood, I'd be like, Ramsay's cooking for the grill,
Yep.
for the cookout. Stevie's playing piano. He's playing the music, and he's chilling. I feel like he's a great guy to talk to.
Probably.
Kim can stay at home.
She's...
Whatever.
Yeah.
One of her sisters can come. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. Kanye, you can stay at home too.
Yeah.
I don't care. Whatever. What a cookout that would be.
What a cookout.
Your friends would come over and they go, is that
Gordon
Ramsay?
Stevie Wonder? Why is he looking at stuff? Is it true? Can he actually see?
Maybe. Or maybe the F-word burger was just so fucking good. Mm-hmm. It restored his vision.
And I like that.
I like that a lot.
Here's the thing. If I lived in that neighborhood, all I would think about is just that like that's where Steve Harvey shits. And that's a promise. Mm-hmm. And the sewage system underneath each house contains celebrity feces. Worth probably a lot of money.
Ugh. That is disgustingly true.
Kim Kardashian shit.
Ugh, dude.
Worth a lot of money, I bet.
I bet you Kim Kardashian shit is worth more than me.
Just
my entire being.
Us.
Yeah.
Than us in general. And all of our assets.
That sucks. That's, no pun intended, that is shitty.
That's so
For real.
shitty. And that's where my head would be. I'd be like, yeah, like Timothee Chalamet's cum rag is in that a closet in that house. Do you think Timothee Chalamet comes on a rag still? Probably not.
Does he need to?
No. You only do that if you like it at that point. Because at that point, you could do whatever you want.
If that's your kink?
Yeah. Timothee Chalamet could sleep with anybody.
Yeah.
But I question, because he looks like a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah, he does.
So I'm like,
Which props to him to hold that youth.
But there's some women who are super into him, and I'm like, why?
And you know what it is? It's the jaw.
Yeah.
That is that jawline could pop the top off of a beer bottle and not make a dent.
It's too pointy, though. It's scary.
It is.
But that's what they like about it.
He could open a can of tuna with it.
And fish out the tuna with it.
Mm-hmm. He could serve
Scoop
charcuterie on his fucking jawline. It's made out of
Slice
titanium steel alloy. Is it charcuterie because it's the board? Or is it charcuterie because the stuff that's on it? What makes that charcuterie?
I think it has to be the board.
Because otherwise it's just meat and cheeses.
If you get from Costco a big platter of that, I wouldn't call that charcuterie.
Right. In the plastic tray. And you take that to a football viewing party. Why did I call it that? What the fuck? Who says that? A football view. You know who says football viewing party? Someone who doesn't watch football.
Yo, you guys got going on this Sunday? You having a football viewing party?
Why the fuck did I say that? Like, if I don't watch football.
Everyone at my office is always having football viewing parties and they never invite me.
I'm sick of this. I'm going to have my own football viewing party.
Yeah. Everyone, I'm going to have my own football viewing party, but it's going to be the football that 90% of the rest of the world watches. Yeah. Pretentious Americans.
Yeah. The real football.
The real.
But yeah, you're right. You put meat and cheese and crackers and stuff on a plastic tray and it's just it's a football viewing party menu item. You put it on a wooden board and it's charcuterie.
It's charcuterie.
And you're having it outside Sunday brunch time, mimosas with the guys, with the gals, whoever you want to chill with. You're having that Sunday brunch, charcuterie boards, mimosas. Oh, I could go for a mimosa.
Could you now?
You know, I don't even drink a whole lot really anymore. Right. I can't remember the last time I've had a drink. But a mimosa is both so refreshing. And the thing about champagne is it makes me sleepy.
Yeah.
And I like that feeling because it's so relaxing.
Probably after brunch, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh, Sunday nap.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Absolutely. And nothing makes a mimosa taste better than fresh saltwater air. You're by the beach.
There you go.
It hits different.
That's how I know. You just said, I don't know the last time I've drank. And I'm in your apartment and I see alcohol.
Oh, I have mad alcohol in here, man.
That's how I know you're not an alcoholic.
Oh, because you can see it. It's not hidden? Is that what you mean?
Because you're not drinking it every day.
Oh, yeah.
Because
the bottles are relatively full, most of them.
Yeah, because you could.
I could. It's
See,
right
that's
there.
it right there. That's like the difference between our brains.
Yeah.
Is like, to me, that never would just sit there. And that's fun. That's fun to think about.
See, and this alcohol really, it was gifted to me by a friend because they were moving out of their house back with their parents and they couldn't take all that alcohol with them.
Wow.
So he was like, you want to just hold on to this? And I was like, sure. So, but for me, this is more for other people.
Right.
I love mixology. That's one of my, Yeah, okay, I'll reveal a little bit about myself. That's one of my secret hidden side passions.
Wow.
I love it. I don't know the whole culture behind it and the flashy. I can't like do any cool bottle tosses yet.
Sure.
But I mean, yet. That's the key. Yet. But I love the whole nature of it, man. I make a great old fashioned. That was one of the first cocktails I ever learned to mix because it just seemed classy. I'll put on my classy playlist and just start making. I love the process of it. You're just crushing the sugar cube and putting the bitters and the whole. Oh, dude, it's great. And I love making that for other people.
Definitely.
The bartending life.
A classy type of situation. I love that.
Yeah.
The science behind it.
It is. Really I always thought if I never did the things that I really want to do, mixology would be where I would go.
I like that. You're going to have to see about if you could whip me up a mocktail.
Oh, I could whip you up a mean mocktail.
If you could whip me up a mocktail, that would be awesome.
For sure.
I would love that.
I'll figure something out for you.
Yeah.
On the next podcast, we'll be sipping some mocktails.
Yes. I like that.
Because there's something, too, about having that in your hand.
Right.
While you're talking, you just feel. And I got my teacup here. It's not quite the same, but it still feels good. You're talking and you're like, yeah. World stuff, right? And events, and you swing the cup around, and it looks good. It feels good.
Exactly.
The same way I would imagine a cigarette feels in someone's hand. I don't smoke personally, but I kind of want to just get one to have in my hand when I'm talking, so I can do that roll people do with their fingers, where they do circular motions while it's resting in between, and you can just be so much more elegant. With your words, everything sounds a little more pretentious, but you know what you're talking about when you have a cigarette. And then you take a drag and you go, fucking life. And then you do that thing where you suck it and you go, and you look at it.
Yep.
Why do people do that?
I don't know. I think it's passed down through DNA. They've been doing that for centuries, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you take the drag, you look at it, you blow it, and you say society.
Yeah. That's in that order.
Society.
And sometimes you stroke your mustache.
Yes. Yes.
Society.
Society.
Well, thank you guys for listening again.
Thank you.
To another installment. We got our links up. We're getting our social media up now too.
Yes.
So you can check us out on Instagram, probably Facebook.
Probably. Just kidding.
And then we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you on the next.
Or you'll hear us in the next one, whatever.
See you on the flip.